right, so we're back at it with another Build Biology. This is one beautiful classic car. Dom.
Oh, Dan.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Tell us what you brought today. And you drove this here.
Yeah.
I'm not to throw you under the bus, but he drove it here.
71 Datsun 240Z, built completely in my home garage with a couple help from some of my close friends.
Let's start from the outside.
We try to keep the car, this is a short nose, it's not a G nose, what the long Japanese version of it. We magnify some of the lines and everything during sanding and prep work. These are original ZG flare from Japan that was a dealer option for the Datsun Z, so you can see that it fits more proper
really
to the car.
Nice.
Thank you.
Even just down through here, just seeing this line hit right there. I mean,
yeah, it flows with the car. We put a little weather stripping in it, just prevent dirt from flying up to the paint.
That's a really cool touch.
Yeah, thank you.
I really like that.
Yeah, you can just buy this on Amazon.
This is a test of the emergency advertisement system.
Wait, it's not working at all?
I mean, it's like, I don't think it's moving.
Do you like watching us fumble around on builds? Do you want to see Vinny's car actually run? Do you want to see me throw a ridiculously stupid, really aggressive, completely unstreetable engine into my C10? Do you want to see Ron's car do things? Get a manual tranny. Ron needs that man tran. Or do you want to see Dan build basically an entire drift car in record time? Swapping this blurred out engine into this blurred out chassis. Wait, do they know you already got the chassis? Don't blur the chassis. Maybe you want to see more of Kyle's van. Do you want to see Dan shove this crazy rotary into this ridiculous K-truck?
What?
So subscribe to Hoonigan Project Cars so you don't miss any of these builds or more builds. We got all kinds of builds. We love building. That's why we work here. We're bad at math. We're bad at most things. We're semi-mediocre at building. Dan's really good at building. But anyway, subscribe. Do it now so you don't miss it.
And then we finished the interior with some original Datsun fender mirror. So these are the original stainless, but these actually came on the 510 and the Sunny truck option.
Oh, yeah.
The Z is actually a little bit longer, but I liked it a little bit shorter. It kind of flows better. But
Can you actually see with those? Can you?
I can't see anything at all. And you
It's
can't
like,
even adjust
I
it.
don't know.
Once you sit inside,
Yeah.
you got to come out.
You got somebody riding
Yeah,
with
and someone has to come out and like unscrew this back part.
you?
And,
Mirror tuning.
Yeah, mirror tuning, exactly. We took away some of the bumpers and we made them all into carbon. It's actually 50% lighter, or if not even 60 or 70% lighter. And
whole
this
bumper.
is a red reflection carbon that I made at home.
Oh, you made all of this?
Yeah,
as well?
we made all of it at home. And so it's not completely perfect. And we used, this is a special red carbon because that's Kevlar weave into the carbon.
Yeah.
And then there's this company in the East Coast called Composite Envision. And they actually weave all this fabric. And
Wow.
we just got to make something out of it. Instead of making the full thing out of red carbon, we actually lay down clear black layer of clear coat. So you can see that it fades in and fade out.
Yeah.
And because the carbon is directional in a certain way, so if the sun hits it in a certain way, then you see it reflects. And on another direction, it's just completely carbon.
Yeah, and let's talk about the wheels.
So these are work-equipped 40s. These are custom-built offset on gold and bronze barrel.
Oh, man.
And
that bronze barrel is so
yeah,
cool.
and I was looking for a 15-inch correct offset three-piece wheels. When I found out Work was doing these, I hopped on and said, hey, how can I get a set?
Yeah.
And how can I get it first?
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Most Datsun guy will notice that these are Japanese tail light. The US one is full red. This one has a little bit of amber into it. We refinished the OEM panel, polished the chrome trim. Most Z guy who were building these trim are actually completely crushed because it's stainless steel aluminum.
Oh, yeah.
I worked really hard at trying to save this when we were building the car.
It's like trying to preserve like a tin can or like an aluminum can.
So we got a full-size spare, rear wheel in the back. I had a choice that I could get 5, so I might as well got the 5th wheel. And this is just a rear wheel only because it's a rear wheel car. I figure if the one that's gonna blow out would be the rear. The cool part about old cars is that the sheet metal work. These are all OEM sheet metal work. And you can see the bead rolls in it. It just looks pretty. So we want to we took all the sound deadening off. The car is loud. It's not really practical to drive every day, but it's a great kind of conversational piece and to look at something that's great craftsmanship back in the 70s.
Did you guys modify anything back here? Or?
No. Well, we stitched well a lot of the panel and then we sealed it all up. But we kept everything. We just smoothed everything out.
All right, let's talk about the interior. I'll let you open it out.
Sure. Oh, you want to open it, Dan?
I'm scared of it. No, man, I don't want to touch anything.
Everything it's pretty much made in-house. Carbon door panel, with titanium bolts around it that we manufacture ourselves.
That's cool, man.
And-
Just the details of everything,
Yeah.
you know?
These were our very first prototypes, so they're not the complete perfect. I like kind of the rawness of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not perfect, but that's the way a built's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right? Then we made the seats.
These seats are incredible.
We use a synthetic leather for these, and then these are old stock Porsche interior that we had it redone for the car. These are just eyelets that you can buy off of Amazon.
Yeah.
The seats cushions are actually made out of memory foam.
Wow.
So, you know, keep your tush kind of comfortable. And then the hill plates are titanium, just for the heck of things. The dash is out of carbon, and
Beautiful.
continually with the minimalness of things. You don't see a lot of switches in the car. And the great part is that Ryan from Rywire did the whole harness for the car. And we wanted to eliminate as many switches as we can, just to keep only the stuff that works and integrate it into the stock column switches. The neat part about the car is that underneath the dash, you will see it's powered by an adaptronic ECU. And it's really kind of hard to see. The whole car can be tuned Wi-Fi and remotely. So the car actually was dyno, and the tuner was 3,000 miles away.
Yeah.
My buddy from RD Engineering did the tune on the car. We made 430 horsepower to the wheel, and he was not even in the room. He was somewhere at home in his underwear or something like that.
Yeah, that's a perfect spot to do your job.
Yeah, that shifter is really unique because we are actually running a stock SR tranny. But, you know, I don't like the way the throw for the stock is. Even, you know, a lot of SR guys, like the C shifter would have been the best shifter available on the market. But it wasn't quite short, and it took a lot of effort to shift. So Andrew, he runs a company called ATP, he developed this shifter for the SR. Really short throw. The height is actually all developed so that you don't take your hand away from the steering wheel too quickly. And, you know, for the heck of it, we made it out of titanium.
Yeah, it looks great. It looks great. So it's a sequential pattern.
Not a sequential pattern.
Just a tight pattern?
Yeah, it feels very tight. So Dan, you go in it and you just pop it back and forth.
I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really tight.
That feels amazing.
And it's very precise too. The chance of misshifting is it's been
eliminated.
Yeah, that's actually a Konatech. Most European rally race car use that. It's like a pretty expensive quick release.
Everything is so clean and so well thought out. I really like it.
Thank you.
It feels good. It just makes me feel good, you know, when
Yeah.
you sit in there. I think that's one of the most important things in a car is how you feel when you sit inside of it, and that feels like I could drive the hell out of it.
Yeah.
If you need me to drive it,
I'll give you the key. You can just run it around.
You need me to drive it, no problem. All right, man, let's get to it. Let's see what's under the
Sure.
hood.
So this is a SR20. Traditionally, the car comes with a straight six, inline six. Nothing wrong with that engine. I love that inline six, but this is my build. I wanted something a little bit more balanced. So we took an SR20, moved it back as far as we can to make it somewhat mimicking a mid-engine car. So if you look at it, it really sits right here on the strut tower.
For sure.
You know, we built this whole thing out, port polish, rod, lightweight flywheel, knife blade, crankshaft, everything you can put into it, but still making it so that it's stable. So like we went with 430 instead of going anything more, and that was only at 18 pounds of boost.
Just being safe.
Yeah.
What turbo is it?
This is a Garrett GTX 3071R. The cool part about this is that we have the filter on it right now, you can't see it, but my buddy of mine from Oxnard, who runs a little turbo company called Apex Boost, took the whole thing apart, redid everything, and then anodized the wheel red to match.
No way.
Rywire did a whole harness for us, so everything is
Really?
tough.
You couldn't tell?
Yeah.
Because it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. And the whole thing, and going back to the part where if we need to service this car, we can pretty much unplug that little mil-spec plug right there, and the whole thing would just come out.
I love it.
Another neat thing is that as we were building this car, I wanted to infuse modern tech with classic feel and look. So that's why we did the Wi-Fi, M2000 Adaptronic ECU, but the whole car runs on drive-by-wire. There's no throttle cable on this car. And that's from an FRS throttle body. So if you look at it, it's controlled. The neat part about a drive-by-wire is that everything is controlled by the computer. It helps protect the engine. If something was to go wrong, it will protect it. And then we finish it off with all of our titanium piping and pie cuts.
So much.
So a lot of weight saving, but it serves
Even
a
the
purpose.
clamps are titanium?
Yeah, the clamps are titanium
Get out
as
of
well.
here. Come on, man. You're making us all look bad now.
As this build was being built, there's parts that I want in titanium that nobody made. So we started machining it in-house. So I started investing in machinery and CNC parts. So we end up making our own parts now. Like, for example, this oil cap, you know, not a lot of people made a titanium oil cap, or if they do, it will be out of reach, like $700-800. So we made one, and we sell it for like $100 and some bucks.
Wow.
We wanted to give things to people that it's a premium product for a great thing, you know. Inside here is a BMW radiator from CSF.
Wow.
It was just tucked underneath here. And if you look at it, there's really no bolt holding that up. Everything has been tucked away.
How does it in
so
there?
Titanium has a very strong spring rate. So everything right now in the top is actually held inside this lip that we fold. Right, so this part holds down. And then in the bottom, there's some hidden rivets and hidden bolts that's underneath that you can't see. And the radiator actually is held by a couple bolts that's underneath this so that no one can see it.
That's super cool.
And the front is hidden
ducting?
away. We wanted a lot of airflow to the intercooler, so this is all made out of titanium.
Yeah.
To help force the air into the intercooler.
Titanium is not easy to cut.
Yeah, and it's very brittle too as well. If you're not careful, it will just break and snap. But the car weighs a little bit under 2,000 pounds.
Wow. That is gonna be fast.
It's fun to drive.
I'm sure it is. Oh, this is awesome, man. I'd love to take a look underneath it too.
Sure. It's pretty dirty because we drive this thing quite a bit.
Yeah.
But
that's why I like it.
we had no room to really fit a mod oil pan, so this is pretty much a stock oil pan on the SR. If anything breaks, you can go to like O'Reilly or AutoZone to buy something, right? So the engine mount is actually from a Ford Pinto.
What?
So all the Dodge guys probably gonna get mad at me.
How do you find that out?
Sometimes you just gotta go to a parts store and just go random. And shout out to the O'Reilly shop near my house, who are the coolest bunch of guys who let me go in the back and just find things and fit things and cross-fitting and all of that stuff.
There's some guys out there really paying attention to this part that are building a Z right now. They're like, wait, what? A Ford Pinto?
Well, here's another clue too, is that we use in the 84 Toyota 4x4 4-piston caliper, and you can get this at O'Reilly as well. And the piston is actually bigger than the current Willwood kit, and it bolts directly up to the Z spindle.
That's amazing.
As well. And the rest of it, we got suspension handling from T32 as well, full race arm, rally arm spec. You can adjust this on car, and that's the best part. A lot of companies will make these stuff, and you can't adjust it on car. And these are really important to me, that if we need to adjust camber or anything, that we can do it on the car. 3-inch exhaust. Oh, and the wastegate dump is right here too as well. We're running a 40mm wastegate. Right. If you look at it, there's not much room for.
Yeah, really, it's
so tight. Everything has to be fitted in.
What manifold is it?
That's a Doc Race exhaust manifold.
Cool.
Yeah.
They make some nice stuff.
Yeah, they make really good stuff.
So you got the wastegate right at your feet, so you can feel it.
You
want that pants feel right there.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really nice exhaust too.
Yeah. It's all stainless steel. And then the neat part about the back area, this is actually off of a Subaru 0405 STI R180 clutch differential. Inside we have an OS Geiskin pumpkin.
Wow.
And the funny part is that it will bolt directly up to the Z without any modification, because the Z and the Subaru share the same diff, and this is a clutch LSD. CV conversion axle off of a Porsche 930.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, you guys have made a Frankenstein out of this car.
So this car technically, it's a Frankenstein. And that's the neat part about a build, I think. You can put anything into these cars and it will function the way you want it to be. This is not your ordinary stock gas tank, even though it looks like a stock. Inside, we run an Aeromotive surge system. And we did everything in here, so it's a whole system that we had to notch, cut, drop it in. We had to coat it for pretty much ethanol. And then right now, we're running 100 octane on it. But yeah, I wanted to keep things looking original, but still have modern touch to the car.
Yeah, very functional.
Yeah, and the suspension is weld-on coilover. We took the stock spindle, changed all the bearing, and then we weld on a custom set of coilover with Swift spring, a helper spring and a main spring. Yeah. And inside, my buddy reworked the whole entire system with 32-way adjustable Penske race.
Penske Moe. They don't screw around with the racing department.
Yeah, I just wanted to be able to drive it, that's why. So,
yeah, man, you've done a great job.
Thank you.
Everybody involved in this looks great, from Ryan's wiring to
the Techno Toy guys,
stuff that's just tucked away. I really dig this car. You've done an amazing job.
Thanks,
I just want to drive it. I want to take off in it.
Go!
Thanks, man. All right, there's guys behind me.